You want to call me a crybaby? Well, call me a crybaby. You know what? I don't care because, yes, I am still crying about the game that we played on Saturday. It's Wednesday, so we're speaking about a few days ago about Verona Juve, where Juventus lost their first 2 points in Serie A. I'm pissed off because of yesterday when we heard Open VAR, the explanation of Rocchi, the head of referees, but also this morning when I'm reading on Twitter 433 that is telling me that only 4 teams are there flawless, that didn't lose or didn't draw a single game in their league. Real Madrid with 6-6, Liverpool with 5-5, Bayern Munich 4-4, and then you see Napoli 4-0-0, 4 wins on 4, which means 12-12. Where is Juve? Well, Juve is not there. 10-12 because we already lost 2 points. And yes, of course, we already spoke about it and we took accountability and responsibility on the way of playing, on our proposal, on the fact that we were not ready mentally and physically against Verona. But there is something else that influenced a lot that game, but also the game of Napoli, and that's what we'll speak about in today's video. Open VAR, the audio, not of the referee, but between the referee and the VAR, the one that was watching, the one that influenced a lot that game, match day 4, and probably also Serie A, because wait for it, at the end of the season where we are missing 2 points for an objective that could be the Scudetto, that could be the top 4, that could be the European competition, depending on what we will fight until the end. Wait for it. And today we speak about Zhegrova because his fitness staff, personal one, told us he's ready. He's already ready. 90 minutes, he already has them today in his legs. And then the doubts of Igor, 1 shirt for 3 players. Vlahovic, Openda, Jonathan Davis. Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I hope you're all doing well. You saw we have a lot of topics to speak about. We will start with Open VAR, hoping that we can close it, even if I will not digest it. Until I have the Scudetto in my hand, I will not digest it. Anyway, first of all, today on Instagram, and I'm counting on you, I don't stop. At the moment, until the votes are closed, I don't stop. There is a possibility to win the Football Content Award in the Best Podcast International category. On Instagram, they posted an Instagram picture where you can tag me. It's important because it's not just to say, Beppe, I saw your video, Beppe, I'm here with you. No, because your vote count. And if we want a chance to bring that trophy, to have a trophy to lift in the air, I'm counting on you. So please do it. The link will be into the description, redirecting you on Instagram, even if you already did it on their website, because now we start with Corriere dello Sport, but also Gazzetta, also Tudor Sport, that are all telling us Tudor was right. Not their words, but the words of Rocchi, the head of the referee, that every week goes on television on DAZN, Open VAR, where he goes review all what happened, the controversial decision, and then he explains us. And that's what he said yesterday. We explain you why Tudor was right, not only in complaining, but also pointing out 2, not 1, 2 episodes, and we are hearing the conversation between VAR and referee, where the referee, because we complained a lot about Rapuano, actually he's taking the right decision on that penalty. But what is he hearing? What is he hearing when they call him? They say, oh, come back, go to the monitor, go to the screen. They are telling him, translated in English, because of course I cannot show you, I cannot actually share the audio. They're saying, the VAR is saying, yeah, this is a penalty, like last year in Atalanta Udinese, influencing massively the decision of the referee, because they're already giving a judgment, which is not their role. Don't forget about that. Huh? It's not the role of the VAR to say if it's a penalty or not a penalty. They are showing all the angles, influencing a lot, repeating a few times. It's the same as Atalanta Udinese. This is a penalty. Where Rocchi yesterday said actually they were wrong, because it's not the same as Atalanta Udinese, where the player Yen is actually increasing the body, opening the arm, while here Joao Mario is actually closing with his eyes closed, because that ball has not been deflected and goes on his arm. It's totally different, so wrong decision, 1. Then they continue with that red card, where we are also hearing the audio really fast, because apparently Aureliano, that is the VAR, on that one, he didn't want to spend too much time. Not like Moiskin against Verona, do you remember 2 seasons ago? Not like so many episodes like Kalulu with a really bad quality. No, he didn't want to. But what is he saying? He's saying, yeah, it's a correct decision that you have taken. It is a yellow. Yeah, he doesn't charge. He doesn't really go with it. It's a yellow. Really fast. Go. Move on. We go to the next one. Strange because Aureliano is massively influencing, and what I told you, that's a huge impact, and he is not in the right of going with these kinds of affirmation. He cannot influence the decision of the referee. It's the referee that needs to decide, not VAR. So we have been penalized, and also admitting, Rocchi, that there was a penalty for Pisa. At the end, penalty not given for Pisa. Also there, wrong decision taken. Could have been today that we would have spoken about all the difficulties of Juve, but at 12 on 12, entering that 4-3-3 together with Real Madrid, Liverpool and Bayern, and not Napoli. What are we speaking about? Especially if we know that we have Atalanta, and then we have also Milan to play in the next 2 weekends of Serie A. Ragazzi. And then you'll tell me, Beppe, you cry. Something that made me totally angry is also the fact that Rocchi said, but Tudor was right. He was right to complain. He was right in the decision that he pointed out. On the other side, he needs to calm down. Let's calm down the voice. Let's not raise the voice, because otherwise it starts to be a chaos. Ragazzi, I heard live the words of Tudor in 2-3 different post-game interviews. Tudor was calm. Of course, he was nervous, but he was educated. He didn't insult anybody. He didn't make a cinema show. He just pointed out what was, according to me, totally correct. Also taking responsibility on the game that we didn't win because we were on our knees. So, I saw cinema scenes in Italy. I saw disaster. I heard insults on television. I never heard nothing about it, about calmare, abbassare I tuoni. I never heard Juve speaking for one time in an educated way. It's a disaster. Pay attention. Let's go to the back, to the field. We go to the field because I don't know if you noticed or not, but yesterday they played La Liga, and who won? Villarreal, that is third there in La Liga with 13 points. Yesterday they won against Sevilla. Winning assist for my boy Mikodadze. Yesterday, beautiful performance of Renato Vega. We are playing in the next 3 games against 3 teams that are in form. Villarreal comes from 2 victories on 2. Beautiful game against Tottenham that they lost 1-0. It's a team that is really in form. Aggressive, play fast. They believe that they can do something magical. Pay attention to Milan. Milan that yesterday won with 11 against 10. You see how things can change. Won 3-0 against Lecce. They come about the 3-0 against Udinese, 1-0 against Bologna, 2-0 against Lecce in Serie A. The only game that they lost and the only goals that they conceded were the 2-1 first game of the season against Cremonese. Pay attention because they are in super form. And now we go know it. The first game that we are playing is against Atalanta this Saturday. An Atalanta that, it's true, lost in a dramatic way against Paris Saint-Germain, but what can you do against Paris Saint-Germain in this moment? But they come from 4 goals scored against Lecce. They come from 3 goals scored against Torino. So pay attention to an Atalanta that will have some players at home because of injuries. But it's an Atalanta that starts to play really well, like Juric is asking them to play. So pay attention to the 3 teams that we will play. Will we have Zhegrova? Yes, we will have Zhegrova on the field. From the start, calma, because today in Tuttosport we hear Zhegrova transformed himself to become one that deserves to be a Juve player. Beautiful words from the physical staff, his personal physical staff, that inside Tuttosport is going with a 1.5 page, nearly 2 page interview speaking about how actually they transformed him after his injury. 6 months of really hard work, intensive work, 2 hours in the fitness room, 2 hours on the field with real life situations, paying attention to the food, what he's eating, etc. When reading the entire article, it looked more like a promotion article of their company than speaking about the player, but you see that they really work on him to have him ready. Now there is one sentence that is saying he's already ready today to play 90 minutes. I go back to what I told you when he was at Lille. He's a beast in training session. Now, from being a beast in training session and having 90 minutes in Serie A against Atalanta, forse probably we're going a bit too fast. We're exaggerating a bit because, yes, he could potentially play 90 minutes, but I can also be there on the field 90 minutes walking around. That's easy to do, being physically there. Then you have the fact of playing 90 minutes with the intensity that Igor Tudor is asking. Don't forget that he didn't play a full game since December 2024. So calma. Will we see Zhegrova? Yes, we will see. But at the moment, probably he has 25, probably he has 30 minutes in his leg. Let's not, maybe 45 if you want to be really generous. 90 minutes probably is not the case of risking, because I don't want to risk. Now the problem of Igor will be another one. Apparently, according to Sport Media, said he has absolutely no intention at today to change the way of playing, so we continue with a 3-4-2-1, probably until after the break, the international break, the second one, after the 3 games. And indeed, there are 3 players for one shirt up front, because we start with Conceição and Yildiz behind one. That one could be Dusan Vlahovic, but we know as a starter, quite difficult in terms of result, what we saw Inter and Verona. There is Openda, and there is Jonathan David. Jonathan David that started as a striker, and since the 2 first games of the season disappeared as a starter first, and when he's playing or when he's starting, he's not playing in that number 9 position. So it's something that they are working on in La Continassa to have clarity, especially for the 3 next games. So let's see what will happen and who will start. I would love you to write your starter. If we really play a 3-4-2-1 with with Conceição and Yildiz, then Zhegrova can play one of these games from the start, I don't know. But speaking about Atalanta, Yildiz Conceição, who is the one that you would put on the field against Atalanta? Let me know. I'm extremely curious about that. The good news is that Gleison Bremer will be there. All okay for the Brazilian defender. I'm super, super happy for that. So grazie. Yesterday, congratulations to the next gen. Record start in 3rd division since our creation was an objective of Brambilla. Something that we really worked on, because it's always difficult the start of the season with a lot of players that are sold, or that they reach the maximum age and they cannot participate anymore, or because some players were promoted to the first team. So it's always difficult at changing also the group, because it's Serie C, Gruppo A, Gruppo B, Gruppo C. They are changing between the seasons. But beautiful from our next gen that yesterday 1-1 with a beautiful goal of Felipe Pedro. Now calma. Is he ready for the first team? He could have potentially be, if not for the same injury as Gleison Bremer last year in the beginning of the season that took him away an entire year. Give him time. To get minutes in his leg, because also defensively yesterday he did a few mistakes. It's a player with potential, but calma. Before December, before January, I don't even want to speak about it. If you enjoyed the video of today, please put a maximum of like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Grazie, forza, Juve.